He lost his company. He lost his fiancée. He even lost his dog. He stood on a bridge at 2 a.m., staring down at the black water, realizing his phone hadn't buzzed in 3 days. In that moment, he had two choices: jump or declare war. He decided to build an army, starting with himself. Don't click away yet. If you feel like you're the last soldier left in your own life, stay till the end. This one hits different. And if it sparks something in you, join the army. Hit subscribe. His name is Chen, and before we can understand why he ended up on that bridge, we have to understand the height from which he fell. Because the fall only hurts if you were standing tall to begin with. To everyone who knew him before the collapse, Alex was the architect of a perfect life. He was the guy who made winning look like a reflex. He had the crowded dinner tables, the sold-out events, a calendar so color-coded and packed, he used to joke that he needed a personal assistant just to schedule time to breathe. His startup was the darling of the tech scene. TechCrunch articles, venture capitalists sliding into his DMs. He was engaged to a woman he thought he'd grow old with. The kind of relationship you see in movies and think, that's it. That's the finish line. They had a golden retriever named Maverick who greeted Alex like the sun rose specifically for him. But here is the dangerous truth about Alex. His entire identity, his self-worth, his ego, his reason for waking up was built on being needed. He was the provider, the fixer, the one with the answers. As long as people were clapping, as long as the notifications were buzzing, he never had to face the silence inside his own head. He built a castle, but he didn't realize he was building it on a fault line. Then the avalanche hit. It wasn't a slow decline, it was a guillotine drop. First, the market shifted. Investors vanished overnight. The funding dried up. The company he poured 5 years of blood into was insolvent in a week. While he was scrambling to save the wreckage, the stress leaked into the relationship. The arguments started, then the silence, then came the phone call. Not a face-to-face conversation, a phone call. The wedding was off. She said, "I can't do this anymore, Alex. You're sinking and I can't drown with you." She took the furniture, she took the apartment lease, and the hardest part, she took the dog. The dog didn't know Alex had lost his money. The dog didn't care about status. Losing the dog felt like losing the only living thing that loved him unconditionally. And then the final blow, the friends. The entourage he had paid for, partied with, and carried for years. Suddenly they were all going through their own stuff. The group chats died, the invites stopped coming. Alex realized the terrifying math of transactional relationships. When you have nothing to offer, you become invisible. Alex moved into a shoebox studio in a bad part of town. The shower was literally in the kitchen. The window looked out at a brick wall. He calls this period of his life the wall of salt, because that's what it felt like. A brutal stretch of time where every old wound was reopened and rubbed raw every single day. Debt was climbing. His parents were calling worried, but he stopped answering because he couldn't bear to tell them the truth. Nights were the worst. Sleep felt like a betrayal because in his dreams he was still the CEO. He was still getting married. Then he'd wake up and for 5 seconds he'd forget. Then the reality would crash down on his chest like a concrete slab. Gone. It's all gone. He ate cereal with tap water to save $4 a week on milk. He wore the same hoodie for 9 days straight. And every morning he woke up to the same suffocating truth. I am completely, terrifyingly alone. Rock bottom arrived quietly on a random Tuesday in February. Alex was sitting on the cold linoleum floor, back pressed against the cabinets, scrolling through his phone. He was looking at photos from a year ago, birthdays, trips to Cabo, hugs he could no longer feel. He saw his ex-fiancée's story,
She was smiling. She looked relieved. That was the moment. The thought crossed his mind. If I vanished tonight, would anyone actually care? The bank would care about the debt. The landlord would care about the rent. But would anyone miss the human being? He opened the Notes app on his phone. He created a new note titled, "Reasons to Stay." The cursor blinked. It blinked for 47 minutes. He couldn't think of one.
He sat there, weeping silently, the kind of crying that hurts your ribs. But somewhere, deep in the reptilian part of his brain, a spark flickered. He typed one sentence. His hands were shaking so hard he made 3 typos. He typed, "I refuse to let them write the ending of my story." He didn't feel strong writing it. He felt broken and ridiculous, but he hit save. That single line became the first tiny grit spark, the smallest act of defiance. He decided right then, I am not waiting for a rescue boat. No one is coming. I have to build the boat myself. From that morning on, Alex made one non-negotiable rule. He called it the 4 a.m. contract. The rule was simple. Before he checked social media, before he looked at the bank account he already knew was bleeding, he would do one thing his future self would thank him for. Day 1, 5 push-ups on a dirty carpet. That was it. He couldn't do 6. He was malnourished and depressed. But he did 5. Day 4, 10 push-ups and a walk around the block. He walked with his hood up so no one would recognize the failed CEO. Day 12, he added a 30-second cold shower. Not for health benefits, not for biohacking. He did it to remind himself that he could still choose pain on purpose. He needed to feel something other than sadness. He needed to feel the shock of life. He never posted about it. No Instagram stories, no grind set tweets, no motivational quotes. Just him, the dark, and the quiet promise that he would not abandon himself again. This is the part of the story people usually skip. They want the montage. They want the quick fix. But this phase lasted 18 months. 18 months of the invisible grind. He rebuilt his business acumen from his phone using free library Wi-Fi because he cut his own internet to save money. He learned high-income skills, copywriting, coding, digital strategy, at 1 a.m. while eating instant noodles. He ran in the rain when the thoughts got too loud. Every time the loneliness screamed, and it screamed often, he opened that note on his phone. He read his own words back to himself, like a soldier reading orders from a general he was still learning to trust. I refuse to let them write the ending. He stopped trying to win back the people who left. He realized something profound. They didn't leave because he wasn't enough. They left because his downfall was too uncomfortable for them to watch. That was their weakness, not his. Then one morning, he decided to share a piece of his mind. Not a plea for attention, just a reflection. He posted a short text on a small blog. The moment you stop abandoning yourself is the moment the right people start finding you. A stranger slid into his DMs. Your post just stopped me from quitting today. Thank you. Then another. I lost my wife last year. I thought it was over. How did you keep going? Then 20 messages, then 100. Alex realized he wasn't the only one on the floor. The world was full of men and women who felt unseen, unheard, and ready to disappear. They were all waiting for a leader. They were waiting for someone to say, I've been there. Follow me. Alex created a private Discord server called Rebuilding in Silence. Week 1, 11 members. Week 4, 87 members. Year 2, 42,000 members. This wasn't just a chat room.
This was an army. They crowdfunded surgeries for members who couldn't afford them. They flew across countries to stand at each other's graduations when parents didn't show up. They turned the phrase, "I'm proud of you," into a battle cry. Alex wasn't the CEO of a tech company anymore. He was something more important. He was the general of the broken. He realized that losing his perfect life was the price of admission for the life he actually wanted. These are the truths Alex now carries like dog tags. Listen closely. These are for you. Dog tag number 1. You don't need a crowd to start marching. You only need to refuse to stay on the ground. Validation is a drug. Withdrawal hurts, but once you get clean, you become unstoppable. Dog tag number 2. An army of one who keeps his promises is stronger than 1,000 who break theirs. Self-esteem isn't magic. It's the reputation you have with yourself. If you say you're going to walk, walk. If you say you're going to work, work. Do not lie to the face in the mirror.
Dog tag number 3. No one is coming. This sounds scary, but it is actually the most liberating truth in the world. If no one is coming, you don't have to wait. You are the rescue team. You are the backup. So I'm going to ask you the question that Alex asked himself on that floor. And I need you to be honest. Who are you still waiting for? Who are you waiting to come apologize? Who are you waiting to come give you permission? Who are you waiting to come save you? The harsh truth is, they aren't coming. But the good news is, the person who can save your life is listening to this sentence right now. It's you. If this story cracked something open inside your chest, if you are ready to stop waiting and start marching, do one thing. Hit subscribe. Because tomorrow's video might be the exact ammunition you need to keep fighting. And if you're really in, comment the word ARMY below. I want to see who is standing with us. 1 second at a time, 1 rep at a time. That's all it ever takes. Recruit yourself.